Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name's Christian and today we're going to be going back to 15mm for our tutorial. It's been a while, it's been a long while, but Flames of War do some amazing kits and this is one of their new models that we're going to be painting, or new set of miniatures, and it's an absolute joy to paint. But we're going to talk all about that in just a moment. But for now, we're going to be looking at how I go about painting British Expeditionary Forces in their iconic uniform. So if you want to see all of that, stay tuned because it's just about to start. Now, I have covered this box set already in terms of an unboxing. Now, if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to the video that's going to pop up on screen on the top right now. But in short, there's some fantastic new hard plastic miniatures as well as some vehicles that I also covered in that unboxing. These are really a step up from what Battlefront have been releasing previously. So yeah, very happy. Now, if you want to get your hands on any of these miniatures, you can find them at the Battlefront website. I will leave a link to that in the video description. Do go ahead and grab yourself some stuff, especially whilst they're in stock. Now, as always, I like to prime my model with Tamiya Surface Primer Light Grey, and then I use English uniform. So exactly what it says on the tin, English uniform is going to be perfect for our British uniform, especially for the British Expeditionary Forces. It's going to be very good to use. You want to get yourself a nice pointy brush, like I'm using. This is a size 1 brush, but I tend to use a size 0 as well. Then for his webbing, I'm going to be using Russian uniform World War II. You can use US olive drab as well if you want to go a bit darker, but I find this is really good. Now, if they didn't blanco their webbing, you would want to paint this in a khaki color, so use khaki. But I'm going to go with the fact that they've blancoed it, so they've pretty much put like a green paste over it. Now, that US olive drab that I just mentioned, I'm going to use for his little rucksack or sleeping bag that's on his back here, as well as his helmet in just a minute. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. From the reference photos I've seen from the equipment, it seems to be some sort of bag or sleeping bag, so he's just going to have it rolled up there, and then using the same color for the helmet. And then for any of the wooden areas, I'm going to be using flat earth. Now, there's so much detail on this Lee Enfield rifle. Again, testament to the team at Battlefront for going to the next level with hard plastic miniatures. They've done an outstanding job here. So take your time and make sure you don't hide any of those amazing details, because there's plenty of bits to this Lee Enfield. Once you've got the wooden colour down, you can then go over any metal item with black grey. So as I said, lots of details on this rifle, so try and capture them all if you can, especially those metal parts, because if you can capture those, especially the small little bits, it's going to make the figure just pop a little bit more and stand out just that ever better. I also paint his bayonet in this colour as well. Then for his canteen, I'm going to be using khaki grey. Ordinarily, I'd use English uniform, but because we're using English uniform for the uniform colour, khaki grey is another good alternative, so the two don't just blend in together. Now, I mentioned khaki before. I'm going to be using it for his rifle sling as well as his chin strap if he had one. I think this one is actually tucked up on the top of his helmet so you can't see it, so I don't need to paint it. But you could also use this colour for the webbing. And finally, just give his boots a nice coat of black. You can dry brush them your earth colour or pigment them later on, but for now, black is going to be what you want to use. They were a black leather. With that done, you want to get yourself an old brush and mix up no oil and Lafmia medium at a 1:1 ratio and give them a nice soaking of this. The 1:1 ratio is really important. Don't just use that Lafmia medium out of the bottle because your results, the no oil out of the bottle, because your results won't be what you're hoping for. They'll be very dark. And then with that done and dried, you want to use English uniform and German beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio and just start applying it. And so you're pretty much repainting the whole uniform again, but leaving that original wash colour in the recesses, so in all of those creases and such. You can see I'm just pretty much painting all the uniform, but then I'm just adding in some little lines where those crease lines are and leaving some dark colour in the to break up those creases. And then following the same principle, but this time with the webbing, using Russian uniform World War II and German beige World War II, but this time at a 2-to-1 ratio. Don't want too much of that beige colour in with the Russian uniform, otherwise it'll be too light. And you can see here I've got a nice pointy brush, so I'm just working in the details, adding a little bit onto the tip of the brush. It's a little bit wet as well, just to help the flow of these Vallejo paints, and just building up all those details. Now, following the same principle, so US Olive Drab and German Beige World War II at a 2-to-1 ratio, I'm just going to go along the rim of the helmet and along the top. Ordinarily, I'd probably dry brush it on, but because of this scale, you can pretty much paint this on. And just start at the very top and work your way along the sides until you think it looks a little bit natural. And don't forget that little bag that's on the back as well. Now for the wood, I'm going to be using Flat Earth and Orange Brown. And you can see here I'm just scratching it in, just doing little lines here and there, and you can see that the colour of the wood is already starting to pop, but we can take it one step further, and I'm going to do that by using Orange Brown, and straight away you can see that that wood is now really starting to take shape. It's starting to really pop, and it's going to look amazing at this scale. With the wood done, you can then move on to the metal items. So black, grey and basalt grey at a 1-to-1 ratio is what I'm going with here. It's pretty much the same. I use this same principle pretty much for all of my scales. You've just got to be obviously a little bit more cautious when painting the smaller stuff, because it's easy to make mistakes. And then finally, just hit it with some basalt grey. Just this particular part, you just want to make sure you're capturing just those raised areas. So the iron sight, the bit of the bolt, a bit of the magazine. I had 3 little lines on the magazine just to show the grooves. A little line on each part of the iron sight and the trigger. And then light flesh from AK Interactive is what I'm going to be using to paint his Caucasian skin tone. Obviously Vallejo and other manufacturers do similar flesh tones. So just as long as you get this sort of pinky, fleshy looking colour, then yeah, it's good. And once dry, I use Flesh Wash. It's like a reddish pink wash. I apply it quite heavily on those areas that we've just painted for that Caucasian skin tone, and it will dry within like 5 minutes, so you can go straight over it not too long afterwards. Now for the khaki areas, just use khaki and stone grey at a 1-to-1 ratio. Again, you'd use this for the webbing if you wanted to, but in this particular case I'm just going to use it for the rifle sling, and there's not too much I have to worry about. I'm just adding in a little line on the rifle sling there. And then for the canteen, I'm just going to use khaki grey again. You could add a little bit of beige to it, but I didn't want it to blend too much with the uniform, so I'm just going to hit it with just khaki grey. Now with that light flesh that's still on your palette, because that wash has dried very quickly, you can just go ahead and just reapply it all on, but leave the original washed base colour in the recesses, so in between each finger, just around the nose and the eye sockets and the inner ear and the mouth, that sort of thing. You can see I'm just capturing the nose and some of the cheeks and the chin there. And then I'm going over it again, but with light flesh and highlight flesh at a 1-to-1 ratio. And this time I'm just picking out each finger, picking out a little bit of the knuckle area, perhaps a little bit of where the hand meets the sleeve of the uniform, and then the ear, each cheek, the nose. You see I'm painting some more fingers. Each cheek, the nose, the ear, the chin, but don't connect the cheeks and the chin together, and then you should have something that looks like this. He's come out absolutely great, and I can't wait to see how he looks with the rest of his chums in his section. So overall, another fantastic set from the team at Battlefront. They are getting better and better. I will admit I was not a massive fan of their thermoplastic miniatures that they released a few years back, but these have really hit the spot. So well done, Battlefront. Good to see that you've moved on from those thermoplastic, hopefully. And yeah, so some amazing things to come, and they are an absolute joy to paint. Really, really easy to paint, and the cleanup was almost next to none. So yeah, amazing work, guys. And I'm not just saying that because I got this sent as a sample. I actually thoroughly enjoyed these miniatures. I'm really happy with this set. Alright guys, I'm very keen to know how you found this video, so please do leave me a comment in the comments section if you've enjoyed this video, or if you've got any historical information you'd like to add. I tend to get a lot of things wrong, so it's always appreciated when people help me when I'm struggling a bit in some of these videos. Now, a massive thank you must go out to my Patreons and YouTube channel members, specifically those Panzer Aces. So that's Patrick, Oscar, James, Panzer Jim, Lack of Foresight Gaming, Mike, Mikey, Eric, Rothgar, Ian, Adam, Rob and Alan. You guys are all champions. Thank you so much for being those aces. And another huge shout out to the team at Battlefront for sending me these samples. Let me know in the comment section how you found this, but until then, I will catch you at the next one.